What's up, everybody? Hey, happy Tuesday. I have a treat in store for you again. It seems like it's just nonstop. The cool and amazing guests that we're able to bring in, even though we're not allowed to have them necessarily in studio right now, we can still have them join from wherever they're at. So I'm going to have Amber Murphy from Butler's Courtyard. We're going to be talking about wedding season. And this is something that I've always asked whenever they are in studio. I'm like, hey, when is wedding season this year? When's the highs? When's the lows? Can people get married right now? These are all questions that I have that people are going to be able to find out the answer. So if you're watching on social media, share this stream out, put this in Talk of League, City, Talk of wherever your favorite talk group is. Start a watch party, and we're going to be talking about local businesses, what you can do to support a local business during this time when things aren't necessarily the same. I'm going to kick this on the FM. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. My name is Gardy. I have Amber Murphy with Butler's Courtyard. She is going to be zooming on in from, I'm not sure if she's at home. Maybe she's at the office. Here we go. What's up, Amber? How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing okay. How's everyone doing out there? I feel like at a distance, but
Yeah, where are you at right now? Are you at the office? Are you at home? Where are you at?
this is my home office / craft room, and it is now the remote office of Butler's Courtyard, apparently.
Yeah, it is. Hey, so
Yeah.
what's going on at Butler's Courtyard right now? What are y'all able to do, if anything?
Nothing. We're not able to do anything, and it's killing us, and we hate it.
Yeah.
We miss our brides so much. We miss the interaction, by nature with what we do. We are people. We want the joy and we want to be in our building. But we are giving virtual tours, and I think Lindsay has a couple of FaceTime or Zoom tours this morning. So that's exciting and promising. So
Yeah, is that something that y'all have done in the past before? Or is this brand new?
no, brand new. We have never done that. We've done some phone calls, and we'll have like a mom or a sister come in and FaceTime, someone like if the bride is out of town or something, but we've never had to, solely rely on that. So
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting ways and learning curves that people are making right now because, getting married is probably one of the most memorable things in your life, and you want your family to be there.
right.
And so y'all had stuff scheduled, but I mean, how does that conversation even go? Did y'all have to make that, or the bride started canceling or saying like he'd realize like, hey, we're not able to do this?
It was a little bit of both. It was our brides, upset that nobody could come. It was the government basically telling me that I can't or shouldn't. And I'm a rule follower by nature. So as soon as our mayor, our county, our state say, hey, we can't be having events, then that's what we're going by.
Yeah, even if there was
Um,
less than 10 people, because I know for which some people want a small wedding, but that was the rule for a while. Like, hey, it's a suggested 10 people. Then it was just like everybody shut down. Did y'all do any small
yeah,
weddings?
no, we were open to it, and we offered that as an option to our couples that were booked. Let's go ahead and have your wedding and then just do it. But most of them didn't really want to take that option, which that's fine. And then we came down on a stay-at-home order, and that's when I was like, okay, we can't even really like be here. We can't even. We were still kind of giving tours of like 2 or 3 people
Mm-hmm.
until the stay-at-home order officially came down. So because we respect our our lawmakers and our leadership, so we want to be respectful of that, even though it's emotionally terrible. we want
Yeah.
we want to meet people. So but we're doing our best. And then so we had to move weddings in March and April, and I'm still praying for May. I think we even had a hashtag going around, hashtag pray for May, because my poor May brides.
Yeah.
But hey, we have options now, and we have learned so much. I have a vendor who can do live streaming. So even when we do go back to doing the weddings, maybe some of their guests still can't travel or something. Everybody now seems to be so much more comfortable with these Zoom and FaceTime and these kinds of forums. So I think some of our brides will hopefully take advantage of that opportunity. So
Yeah. I saw that you have been a part of some like Zoom parties, hanging out with vendors, and just human interaction, right?
Yes, I'm in the best industry. I say it all the time, and some of our frienders, we call them frienders, came together and we did a little picture, which will be posted on our social media today. But some of them have already posted, and then I've been doing Zoom meetings with my girlfriends just to try to check in and get us some mental health going. Yesterday was a birthday of a deceased friend, and we were supposed to have a party, so instead we did it virtually, and we sang happy birthday and got to kind of share memories of the person and cry and laugh. And so I think it's important to still stay connected even if it is virtually. And look, I'm still getting to be on your show, which is super cool because I've been missing you.
Yes. And how are single people supposed to go and meet that special someone to have that wedding whenever they are not allowed to leave the house or can't go, eat inside of a restaurant or go watch a movie together? It's kind of,
I know.
It's putting a halt on the current weddings right now, but it's potentially putting a halt on the future if you think about it, unless, there's dating apps that people will meet on. Maybe they text each other. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they're using good dating apps like Plenty of Fishes or eHarmony, but
Yeah.
I will be honest, Scardy, we have a big fear, which I actually took down a note during Chapas. Let me get it out. What did he say? I liked what he said. Fear is false evidence appearing real. I had never heard that before, and I wrote it down. So, but we have a fear that, we're going to be lacking in business. And just to have some frank talk right now, it's emotionally and mentally hard to move these brides, but it's financially hard too. They're now taking up more inventory, and I was explaining to someone yesterday, all of our inventory for the spring is being wasted because my inventory is dates, right? So and we're having this beautiful weather and the flowers look beautiful, and it makes me emotional just to think that's being wasted as far as the weddings. I'm sure God has another design for it, and we just have to believe in that. But yeah, we have a fear that we're not only are we not there doing weddings right now on the weekend, but we're not meeting new people and we're not booking new weddings. So one thing we want to tell people is if you are engaged, go ahead, look around. We're not the only venue that has virtual tours. We have a video, a link we can send you. It doesn't even have to be on face to face like this if you would rather just watch a video. So don't stop planning for the future just because of that false evidence appearing real to you. Keep planning. We have financial help that we can provide. If you're concerned about finances, we can break up the payments a little easier. It is kind of a scary world right now financially for everyone, and we get that, but you need to go ahead and plan your wedding and look for the future. We still have plenty of dates in 2021, so let's do it. Let's meet some people.
Yeah. And I think that Zoom is and there's other options as well, but it's going to change the way a lot of places do business and the way people will get used to meeting and communicating. It's, things may never go back the way that they used to be. There's going to be options for businesses. Us kind of working with nonprofits and in the church industry, there's a lot of churches that are learning to live stream for the first time. I've seen realtors do these virtual tours, and Butler's Courtyard doing these really cool virtual tours as well. So if somebody wanted to see the venue, how would they even set that up?
Well, you can go to our website, and we have a pop-up there. So that's butlerscourtyard.com, and it'll pop up and say, would you like to take a virtual tour? You can call or text us 281-557-5551, and those phones are being directed to my cell phone, so I'm answering the phone. Text, we have a lot of people that text is very easy. You can text that same number. You can email us, of course, info@, and we'll get you set up. We'll get you all the information. We'll get you the virtual tour. Like I said, Lindsay's doing 2 today. These are people that we sent the video and they watched it, and then she's gonna hook up with them via Zoom or FaceTime so that they can ask her questions or see something more in detail that maybe they missed in the video. One of the things that's cool about our virtual tour, it may even be better than we don't get the in-person connection, which is what makes Butler's Courtyard so special and unique, but they get to see real weddings mixed in. So when I'm giving the tour and I'm explaining, like, this is where the dancing goes, our videographer friends mixed in actual video of dancing. So it's actually visually maybe better for people that have a harder time, imagining a wedding in the space. So I think we'll be using this virtual tour even going forward. It's a
Yeah.
great tool to have. And we're super grateful to our friends. Hello Beautiful is our videographer friends that did that for us. They did it just to help us out. We have so many wonderful vendors. Right now, I just want to give a little plug to our friend Kurt with Kurt Productions. He's offering a free video for anyone that books with us in the next couple of months. Again, just to help incentivize people to not be fearful and to book their wedding. Because like I said, that we're just a tight knit industry that just really sticks together. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're talking about like these virtual experiences, and your sister Shauna, she's watching, and she said a couple things like, hey, it stinks the weather is, and the flowers and Butler's is always beautiful, but the season is like perfect right now, and that kind of breaks everybody's heart. Yeah. But what do you think about virtual first dates, like Zoom video conference first dates? Have you heard anybody doing that?
A virtual first date. I saw like a video on Facebook of a guy that met a girl on the next roof over or something. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that. So like they were on top of their roofs and they were just like, hey, what's up? You quarantining too?
I'm not sure what city they were in, but I guess he saw her like dancing or working out or something. And so he like somehow got a message to her. I don't know. Did he hold up a sign? And then he sent food. He had her roommate like set up a table and they had a first date. And then they were kind of communicating and he wanted to meet her. So he got in one of those like plastic bubble things,
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's just a really sweet love story. I wish if Facebook, if you're listening to this conversation, have it pop up in my feed. Have it pop up in my feed again and I'll tag Gardy because it was so sweet.
Yeah, I want to talk to them. Yeah. We can zoom them in, and I want to hear all about the like where he sourced that big plastic bubble from. That's my question right now. So right now it's 10:28. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. I'm talking to Amber with Butler's Courtyard. They're located in Leak City, and they are an amazing venue. Y'all do a ton of weddings, but y'all also do other events and nonprofit events and host that. So how is that? I mean, y'all still can't do those either, right?
No, we can't do anything. We do, it's part of our mission, and Butler's Courtyard was built by God and has been, bringing joy through him to our community for I don't know how many years. I keep losing track, but 18 years, 17 years. And so part of that mission is giving back, and we do a lot of events for free, or some we have to do at cost. But yeah, we were supposed to be doing, actually with Dr. Chapa's family, we were supposed to be doing a homeschool prom in April that we didn't get to do. Kind of more of like a cotillion and a lesson involved in it, of course. But and then there was, we know local, like Devereaux had to cancel their gala. They weren't with us, but we, are in support of them. So lots of stuff is getting canceled. So I do want to, just plug this, that if there was an annual event that you used to go to that got canceled, or maybe you can find it in your heart to still give maybe what you would have given, because all these charities are going to suffer bad. A lot of them do spring galas. My girls, St. Mary does a big spring gala that helps pay the teachers and, get technology in the school and stuff. So it's a strange world. The Lord has hit a reset button. He's resetting our families for sure. I mean, I've played more board games in the last 3 weeks than I have in the last 10 years. Bike rides, it's that part has been awesome. But he's also resetting our businesses, our schools, our governments. I mean, I know Butler's Courtyard is taking this as a chance to look in and work on our business instead of in our business, because we're usually so, caught up in the day-to-day. So we're just wondering, okay, Lord, where's our next direction for the next 6 months, year, 10 years, 20 years, if he ordains it. And we're going to be able to change things up and make things better. So better for ourselves, honestly, and our families, but also better for our brides. So
yeah,
we're excited about that. And that's why we need people to still reach out to us. We still want to meet those new brides,
How has family life been for you? We talk about hitting the reset button. You have, you're married and have some kids. Has there been some schooling, unschooling? What's going on there?
There's been both schooling and unschooling. I think I've, done my best, which is all we can do. I'm feeling really blessed that mine are only in kindergarten because, you know, it
I
gets
know all
harder,
that stuff.
obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can do 2 plus 2 and ABC. Okay. The biggest blessing, I think, in this, guardian, and maybe you can testify about your kids, but they are only seeing the good part. They're only seeing mom and dad are home all day, and we get to go on bike rides in the middle of the day, and we get to play games, and we're not rushing here and there and fighting over put your shoes on. You know, I haven't had to force anyone into hops in a month. It's been awesome. And so, you know, they sense my stress owning a business, and they know that, you know, things are unusual with Butlers, but for the most part, they're living their best life. They're playing all day, and you know, to me, that's a blessing, is that they don't feel any of that stress or pressure. So
Yes, I have a 3-year-old daughter, and she's told me, "Daddy, you're my best friend." You know, more. She had never told me that in those words before, but she's like, "Daddy, you're my best friend," so many times, and it just makes me
that's so
so happy. Yeah,
Yeah.
to hear that.
I mean, mine do know that there's an illness that's making a lot of people sick, and you know, we are honest with our girls, but in a way that kind of protects them too, you know, and that we can't go anywhere, and when we do go somewhere, don't touch anything, you know, don't stand too close to people. So we haven't taken them anywhere. The only outing they've been getting is to Cakes by Jula.
They moved, right?
They did move. She is now on, well, I say our side of 45. They're closer to Butler's. In the strip center right there on 45 and 518, there used to be a Kroger there.
Yeah.
And now it's a Crunch Fitness, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And she's open and she's expanded. She's doing bread and bread pudding. In fact, I have an order of bread pudding to go pick up today. So I have been taking my girls there, and we don't touch anything. And, you know, they get to kind of point at a cookie or treat they want. But, you know, that's one way I can support my friend and business partner. You know, she does all of our cakes, so I want to keep supporting her, and her bread is delicious. So
yeah. Carbitarian. We were just talking about this not too long ago.
Exactly. That's I'm sorry, but you know, I am having some of those famine foods, as Dr. Tapa said.
Yeah.
I can't resist it.
Hey, here's a comment from one of the brides getting married at Butler's Courtyard. She's watching on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this out. This is from, and I'm going to say the date.
Okay.
Do you think you can guess the name of the bride from the date of the wedding?
Yeah.
Can we try?
Lindsay is the one who is the quiz master. Okay. I cannot keep all of that straight in my mind. So.
Okay, I got you. So the date is March 19th, 2021.
Okay.
And the bride's name, well, I'm going to read the comment. She said,
okay.
Amber, I can't wait until all this craziness is over to see y'all and to plan, with a big smiley face right there on the Facebook comments. But that's Kaylee Marie Garrett. She is a Butler's Courtyard bride getting married next year. So that's going to be, it'll be a very memorable time looking back on Facebook memories from a year ago, you know, during this time. And then it's like, oh my gosh, we can make so many more amazing memories that are way better than last year, you know.
Right. So. It's, you know, it's like I said, it has been a blessing. And anytime I do start to get down, you know, obviously I'm a business owner, so I am worried, of course, like who isn't, you know, and starting to wonder, like, what is our future? Like, is this it, you know, and what, you know, Lord, what path are we taking? Then I get a message like that from a bride, you know, or I talk to a past bride. They've really been the ones that are, and they don't even realize they're doing it. They're just you know, I saw Erica Steele yesterday. We let Lighthouse Christian Ministry shoot at Butler's because they could be outside in the space, you know. And she was like, I was watching my wedding video and it was so beautiful. And it just, she didn't realize in that moment, she was just, you know, gushing over her wedding, but it spoke to my heart and said, see, this is why, like, this is why we have to keep going. This is our mission. You know, we brought so much joy to her and her family, and she'll always remember that, you know? And so that's a huge blessing to me. And I'm faithful that the Lord's going to just keep blessing us by letting us bless other people. And so we just have to not let false evidence appear real to us. That's my lesson for today. Thanks to Dr. Choppa. So.
Yeah. So it'll be wedding season as soon as, you know, things are lifted and people are allowed to meet. Y'all are good to go.
Gardy, I tell you this all the time. All seasons are wedding seasons.
Except now. Except for right now, it's definitely not wedding season.
Yeah. But it is. The bad thing is, like, seasonally, it is. It's
it
the
is
most
wedding
beautiful
season.
Weather, you know? It's like every day we have a day like today, I'm like, man, this would be a great day for a wedding. But it is what it is, and God has other things for us in this season. So
Yes.
we gotta just.
Do you think, like, as soon as everything's lifted, the governor, the mayor, everyone's like, hey, you can go get married now, or people are allowed to congregate, your phone's going to start blowing up, and y'all are going to have to do, how Valentine's Day style wedding, where it's like, hey, we're going to do 20 weddings in one day.
Let's do it. I'm totally open to it. Like I said, whatever he brings us, we are faithful that once people get over this fear and are able to start looking around, that our phones are going to be ringing off the hook. I feel passionate about our venue, of course, but I'm also happy to give a list of 10 other venues in the Houston area. I want people to look at family businesses, not to take anything away from any other business, but there are a lot of venues out there that are corporations, that are national brands, and they're hurting too. And I don't want to take any business from them, but if you could look to a family-owned venue like ours, we're hurting even worse because my entire family depends on the health of this business. And we're also going to give you the best service because of that, because we do love you. You do become part of our family and our legacy and our history. So definitely, I would encourage the couples that are getting engaged. Maybe a lot of people are going to get engaged through this. They miss each other. They're getting, closer together through having to communicate more and not just be out and going. And so definitely when you are shopping for a venue, is it family owned? Is it full service, or are you going to have to work, harder and pay more money in the end? Let my family bless you by you blessing us with your wedding. Shop local. You can't really see my shirt, but definitely eat, shop, love local. And I know there's been a big push for that, supporting local restaurants, local boutiques, but that falls down to, wedding venues, florists, bakeries, photographers. We're all suffering pretty bad, and we're kind of like in the shadows because it's not like I can just turn Butlers into a to-go only, So just something to put out there and remember. And by the way, local plug of my shirt is from Red Line Printing. I don't know if you know them, but they're an amazing League City company. So
I'm gonna try and tag them. I don't know them yet.
Yeah, see if you can tag them, or I can after I get off here, I can add the link.
Cool.
To buy the shirt because it's super soft and really cute, and definitely something that I'm passionate about is shopping local. So
yeah, this is awesome. It's an interesting time, but any way that you can support local businesses or support somebody that is out of work. I've seen some places step up, like restaurants, even Macio's in Galveston. They've been partnering with some other restaurants, I think like Gypsy Joint and some, where they're saying like, hey, if you're out of work, come get a meal. It's nice. Like,
that's awesome. And I know Chef Mary Bass has a lot of programs going too. Not only is she helping people get meals, but she's keeping people employed by delivering and cooking. Red River Barbecue immediately sprung to action. Esteban's, those are my two local faves. And they're doing a great job of being curbside and delivery and stuff, so that's really great. But then there's not only restaurant shops, our friends at Nana's Attic and Founder Square, they're sitting outside on the porch ready to just hand you your product, if you want specialty coffees, or if you need a gift. People, we are still having birthdays and anniversaries, and you might want to pick up a little gift to put on your friend's porch.
Hey, my wedding anniversary is in May, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. I can shop online, but usually it's different. Okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. It's 6 years of being married. What should I do? My wife's not watching right now. I need help. Who should I hit up? Is there someone I can support local that maybe I can get a good gift for her?
Yes. Well, I already mentioned Nana's Attic. They have some cute, jewelry and trinkety type gifts.
Okay.
Clothes Horse in League City has a good selection of Kendra Scott. So if she likes jewelry, and Kendra Scott's a great company to support. They do a lot of giving, but if you can buy it from a local boutique, then you're doubly supportive there. That's even better. Salted Hippie, our friends at Salted Hippie across the street from us are still selling. So it just depends. What is your wife into? I don't know. What is the traditional gift for 6 years?
I don't know. 1 year is like paper or something.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
Maybe Google that and see if you can come up with something clever, and we can help you out. My husband and I don't really do anniversary gifts, so I'm not really the right person to ask. But maybe a getaway that you book now, but it's in the future that she can be looking forward to and planning out. Even if it's just one night somewhere. I know you have a newborn, but if you did it for like 6 or 8 months out, she might be ready for one night away.
He's chill. He's chill. Like he could just hang out there and like nobody would even know. Like he's just
Yeah,
hanging
there
out.
you go.
We'd bring him along
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So, you can get creative.
I'm trying. I'm thinking about it. I'm glad you reminded me because it's been in the back of my mind. Like I need to start searching on the internet and figure out
Yeah.
because I'm praying that we'll be able to go leave, and soon, the numbers will start to dip down and the everything will go back to some sort of normal or what
Well,
it's going to be, but you don't know. So I
you
need to be
don't know.
prepared because I'm going to get in trouble if I don't have an anniversary gift.
Just plan some kind of like romantic date night at home for when the kids are in bed. Like it's more about your effort than about the actual physical gift, in
That's
my
true.
opinion. And if you are ordering something online, you might do it now because things are taking a while to get to you. Unless you're doing a pickup from like Nana's or Salted Hippie or Clothes Horse, somewhere like that. So
Yeah. Oh, you mentioned Red River Barbecue earlier. Have you seen our giveaway video for Red River Cantina?
no, did you? I knew you were giving away something, but I haven't seen a video.
Yeah, it's on KHEA Radio's Facebook page. So if you're listening on 99.5 FM or on the app or you're watching on Facebook, make sure that you go look at our video. It's tagged at the top. It's the one, not at the very top. That's a Pit Stop Barbecue, our friends. But if you go down, it's the first one in the feed. We have it pinned there. But there's a giveaway. We're giving away 8 gift cards to Red River Cantina right now. We're picking the winner, I think maybe on Friday or later this week. There's a lot of people who have entered, but 8's a lot of gift cards. And we were talking to Jimmy, and he was like, if you need more, let me know. I was like, okay. You say that. We're going to need 1,000 gift cards.
Yeah. You have to watch what you say, Jim. They are so generous, though. I mean, whatever they can do, to help out and get out there. They're the most generous people. Robinette's doing that Dish and Dash too. Have you picked up any Dish and Dash?
I haven't, but I want to, and I was actually going to reach out to her, and see how she's doing and how Robinette is, and two, if there's some way that we can kind of push them out some way from KHEA. But I haven't reached out yet. But I always see, the posts, and I follow Robinette on Instagram and I follow them on Facebook, so I always see the delicious food, and they do that Dish and Dash, all the time. They've been. Not that they're set up for it, but they've been offering this thing that a lot of restaurants are having to maneuver to for them. They've been kind of ahead of the curve.
Yeah, they obviously lost a bunch of catering gigs because we all had to move
all
our
the
weddings.
events.
But yeah, they were already a little bit prepared, but they've kicked it into overdrive. I was actually on a call with her yesterday for that birthday celebration. And she said they're doing good. I mean, obviously they miss the events, they miss their frienders, but they've been blessed, and Amy's so smart, and that Dish and Dash was just an incredible idea, even when she had it before all this, and then doubling her efforts. I don't think they've been at Butler's lately because she was trying to protect her team members a little better and keep them at the shop, and not have them so spread out. But yeah, she said they still have just as many people working because of the Dish and Dash. So that's a huge blessing to her employees. And they did an Easter meal, which she said they've never really pushed before, something like that. And she said they're going to be doing that again because it was so successful. And I'm sure it helped a lot of people, because you can't really go to the store, have all your Easter trimmings. Easter this year was really hard, and a lot of people, my family included, but so I'm sure that was great and helpful to a lot. So.
Yeah. Do you do like Easter baskets or let the kids do eggs or anything like that for Easter?
Yeah, so our usual tradition is dyeing eggs, and then the Easter bunny comes and puts out, baskets and treats that night and kind of hides the eggs in the yard. We just do a few of like the dyed eggs. This year we had to paint them because all I had was brown eggs, and it's not really worth like running to the store. But I'll tell you, the painted eggs turned out better, I thought, so that might be a new thing for us. And then the Easter bunny brings like plastic eggs with candies and coins and little trinkety things. And then we usually go to my mom's for a big meal, and obviously this year we couldn't really do that. We bent the rules a little bit, and we still went over there, but I have 2 sisters, and we went in shifts. So we each, the kids got to see their grandparents, but not their cousins. And I got to come home with a giant bag full of potato salad. So that was worth the visit there. My mom makes the best potato salad. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a weird time. So my son, he's a little bit over a month old,
yeah.
and I don't even know if I should say this, but my mom has not seen him yet.
Oh,
My mom hasn't seen my baby. Like he's a little over a month old. My mom hasn't seen him, and there's it's crazy. But and yeah, but we're just trying to be extra careful with everything that we have going on and everything. But yeah, things are weird. But my son, he's doing good, and my family's doing good. But whenever you were talking about it, it just reminded me of that. I was like, golly, just normal family stuff like Easter. Traditionally, what we would do is not what we did this year, but whenever we were talking with Chapa, this is going to be something that I think we remember for forever.
mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember what I did last Easter. I'm sure I went to families, but this Easter I'll definitely remember for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah.
So.
And there's, this season, we've already called it, this COVID season or whatever you want to call it. It has so many high highs and so many low lows and some in betweens. And, I understand that they're concerned with everyone's physical health, but I think at some point they're going to have to start focusing now more on mental health a little more, let people out of their house. Because, and one message I'd like to put out there, because mental health is important to me. I've suffered from anxiety and depression off and on basically my whole life. And again, to plug him, Dr. Chapa has helped me and changed that for me. But if people are sad about something, like that's a sad thing that your mom hasn't met your newborn son. That's sad. And it's okay to be sad about that. And to, the only way that we can really get through feelings, you don't get past feelings or over them, you get through them, is you kind of have to acknowledge. So what are you today? Like I was sad that my family didn't get to be together. We're a very close family. We do our resurrection eggs where the kids go around and it has like a symbol of, the Easter story. And I read this little book to them. We didn't get to do that. And that made me very sad. And so accepting that and kind of being sad for a minute and lamenting, my church a couple weeks ago did a whole service on lamenting, and it was very well timed. I'm sure they picked the topic based on what's going on, obviously grief and lamenting. And I think that's important. And I think it is important to choose joy and to stay positive. And I, definitely am a proponent of that, but it's also okay to be a little sad and grieve and go through that process so that you can get to that joy. If you just keep stuffing it down, then people are just going to explode with anger, grief, sadness versus a little bit of sadness. Every day during this, I probably have a little bit of sadness. Like I'm so sad that you and I are not in person, but once I can acknowledge that, well, the joy is I still got to be with you, because of this amazing technology. And, hopefully I'm reaching some people out there. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to have grief. Acknowledge it, accept it, pray about it, work through it. And then you can find the joy easier that way,
Yeah.
So kind of a little bit of a tangent there, but that's all relevant to today,
important.
And it's important. And
Yeah.
your mental health is important. And that's why, we were bending the rules maybe a little bit by going to my mom's, but I said, at some point our mental health has to take a front seat. And if that means going and hugging my parents and letting my kids hug their grandparents, that's a little, I'll risk it,
Yes.
I mean, obviously I don't have a 1 month old. That's completely different. But in our case, it was worth the risk.
You know, you reached out to me, you reached out to me and you were checking on me whenever my son was in the hospital. He was in there for about like 2 weeks. And so that's why it doesn't even feel like it's been that long. It's like it's already been a month. But nobody was so whenever my son was in the hospital, it kind of put a lot of things into perspective. And I was trying to follow what was going on in the world, with the virus. Everything's going on lockdown. The hospitals changed their alert level. Then they weren't allowing people to go in and visit. And for me, it put a lot of things in perspective. Like I was like, man, I don't, I care what's going on in the world. But for me right now, what I need is my son to be able to be well so he can get home. And it just made me grateful that I have my family, that I know where they're at, that everybody's there, and I can keep them, just there, in a containment. So I'm not going in and out of the hospital, going in, the entrances and everything else. But for me, I just put everything in perspective and allowed me to be grateful in a way that I probably wouldn't have been if I didn't have that going on. I would be maybe a little bit. I am worried. I am concerned what's going on, but I'm not living in fear. I guess I'm just trying to be grateful and thankful. I have my son at home, and I thank you to you for reaching out for me, and a lot of people did as well. And that was one of the things you told me, like, hey, it's okay, because it was like, this isn't fair. Why is this happening? I'm trying to stay positive,
Right.
looking at the positive in things. But, and yeah, thank you, Amber, for checking on me, during
You're
all the
welcome.
time, but, especially during then.
I mean, it is okay. It's okay to say this, stinks, or use a stronger word if you want.
Yeah.
This in this moment is awful. And one thing that I keep seeing on Facebook that really bothers me is like someone will pour their heart out, and to some people, like I pour my heart out to my husband, trust me, or my friends. I have an amazing support system in friends that I feel so blessed to have. But some people, maybe their only outlet is Facebook. So when they post something like, oh, I'm a senior this year and I'm missing prom and graduation. And then somebody else will come back and say, well, I was at Vietnam during my
Yeah.
senior year, and I hear that person, but at the same time, like, quit comparing and quit like saying that your problem is worse. I mean, maybe it is, but to this person's life, to me right now, missing my nieces and nephews on Easter was devastating to me, in that moment. And so I just feel like we all have to let each other have our own experience. We all have to let each other have, sadness for what we're going through. It's all relative.
Yeah.
My kid was not in the NICU when this all went down, but I was going through other things, having to move 10 weddings, that's a logistical challenge plus a mental and emotional just slam in the face, to have
Mm-hmm.
to deal with these poor brides, so we're all going through something different, and we need to let each other have our differences and support each other through those differences, and not compare and not put someone down because they're not going through something worse than you. Like, you know, um, and you're welcome. Thank you for saying thank you. You're welcome. My girls were in the NICU, so I felt so alone at that time. So what I've tried to do, for the 6 years since, is reach out to those parents and say, hey, this is hard. I'm so sorry you're going through it. It's okay to be bummed. It's not, the experience that you dream of when you're having a baby. It's okay to be bummed. It's okay for us to be a little bummed out right now, and work through those feelings and acknowledge them, and then go outside, go for a walk. And it's easier to find the joy once you've kind of gone through that process. Grief is a process with many stages, many ups and downs. It looks different for everyone. And like I said, I'm a member of Clear Creek Community E96, and they just finished a service on grief, and it was just the best thing. It's certainly something that who is someone who deals with anxiety and depression, needed to hear, because it's okay to have down days and down times. My days are probably so up and down, and I know people can relate. And that's okay. That's the season that we're in. That's okay. So just you're nobody's alone, even though like you mentioned earlier, people who lived alone, and that kind of like made me sad. Like, I have my husband, I have my kids, we get to chat with our neighbors, when we go outside. And so if there is somebody out there who's living alone, you can reach out to Butler's Courtyard if you want to chat. I don't want anyone to be sad. I know Gardy is very sociable. Reach out to KHEA, reach out to Butler's Courtyard, reach out to your neighbor. um, you know you'll be fine. We are all in this together. And bringing it back to Butler's a little bit, I feel so blessed. We've always known for 20 years that we have the best brides and families in the world. The Lord sends us the best people. And they have really shown me through this, because while I am full of anxiety and sad for them, they're reminding me, and they're the ones telling me, we're so grateful for you. We're grateful you're working with us. At first they're sad, and then I get a phone call or an email saying, we're so grateful for the way you're handling everything. We're praying for Butler's Courtyard. Like, we're in this together. Like, they keep reminding me of that. I'm supposed to be comforting them, and they end up comforting me. So
Yeah.
it's a huge blessing. And we just, day to day, take it day by day. We will get through this. Pray for your local businesses. Pray for your family owned businesses. We're hurting bad. That's the truth. Pray for your government. You may not agree with who's in office, whether it be local, state, or national, but you still need to pray for them. Whether you agree with their politics or not, they need your prayers.
And pray for your neighbors, your family, everybody. Like, even if you're a wife, pray for your husband. If you're a husband, pray for your wife. Yes. And your kids. This is a lot. Like, let me make the right decisions. Give me wisdom on how to help lead my family. With my wife. Pray for the president. Everybody.
Yeah. This is an unusual circumstance for all of us. Our teachers are doing something they have never done before. And I am close friends with several teachers, and they're struggling, we're struggling to homeschool. They're struggling to help us with the homeschooling. So, but I definitely think now's the time to pray for our country, our earth. My mom had a friend visit, and whenever Sam visits, we get churched. Okay. He's just one of these people that the Lord speaks through him, and he's an angel in our family and Butler's Courtyard. And he said it perfectly. This is our chance. We are all fighting a common enemy. It doesn't matter what country you're from, what your race is, what your socioeconomic status is, what your politics are, what your beliefs are. We are all fighting a common enemy here, and that's this virus. And the way to do that is prayer and community, even if it's virtual community. And so let's do it. We will overcome. We'll get past it, but we're in it together. And
Yes.
if that means letting your neighbor cry because they're missing prom, let them cry. That's a big milestone in your life, and it's sad that they're missing that. So, and it's okay.
Yes. Amber, thank you for hanging out today. I appreciate it. And make sure you go check out Butler's Courtyard. I had asked in the comments on Facebook, hey, tag a local business that we should support or know about. I'm still looking for my wife. I have my anniversary coming up next month. It's a couple weeks away. I need to purchase some items, and I don't know what I need to do. Help me out. But Amber, thank you again for coming on, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, and thanks for letting me go on a little bit of a tangent. I know that has happened to you twice now today, but hey, it's worth it, And when you're a business that prays and believes that the Lord guides your steps, He kind of takes over sometimes. So.
Yeah, I'm open to tangents, so reach out to me if you have one to share. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. All right, Facebook. Hey, y'all be blessed. Amber, thank you so much.
Thank you. I loved it. Thank you. Can we do it again soon?
Yes.
Okay. And
all right.
People, don't stop shopping for your weddings and your parties. The time will come. You need to have your place lined up.
I agree. Do it. Make it all those choices now. All right. Bye, Facebook.